Hello and welcome to episode 32 of Pedz Game Shack. Today we're going to be discussing the Game of the Year. I have with me Doomed Prinny, Jeffyard,
Hello.
Kerrr9000,
Hiya.
and lastly, Cumberdanes. How is everyone doing today?
Good, thanks, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well. Just eating some sweets.
What sweets are you eating, Pedz?
Candy bacon, is whatever Cumber called it, candy bacon.
I'm a little tired, but I just sat on the new menu at McDonald's and it was tasty.
My missus had something from McDonald's the other day. It was a steakhouse burger with peppercorn sauce.
So I had the steakhouse stack and the fajita chicken wrap. They were both very tasty.
I didn't know they were doing a fajita chicken wrap. I'll have to try that when I go there next. I prefer Burger King food to McDonald's, but they don't deliver here, so fuck 'em.
It's more filling in it, Burger King.
They do deliver on my way, but they're too expensive.
That is another problem with Burger King. It's like, I understand why. Yeah.
5 burgers at Mackey's for the price of 1 at Burger King.
When you get the Burger King app, though, you get some good deals.
Yeah?
I might look into that.
Knocks a fair bit of money off, makes it a lot more reasonable.
Speaking of unreasonableness, in my opinion, places like Pizza Hut and Domino's are a fucking con. They 13-inch pizzas, like 20 odd quid. That's ridiculous when you can make one bigger than that for cheaper. And like local shops that do kebabs and pizzas and burgers and stuff. There's one near me that does buy one, get one free on pizzas. You can get 16-inch pizzas for something like 13 quid, and you can get another one free. And it is fucking lovely.
When you eat in the restaurant, but for takeaway, it's really meh.
It's only worth it when there's like big deals on like spend 50 quid, get half off and that sort of thing. Normal, it's just not worth it. We've got a local one called Sergio's, and for about £28 you can get a giant pizza, whatever you want on, chips with cheese, kebab meat, chicken meat, salad, and you won't get half the food for 28 quid from Domino's or Pizza Hut. And this is nicer.
That's fair enough. I used to enjoy going to Pizza Hut on a weekday and just getting like all you can eat, just munching on as much pizza you wanted for like.
There's good value if you can put your food back.
Well, I'm a fat bastard, so of course I can.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It's funny when you see like news articles, blah 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 was banned from an all-you-can-eat buffet for eating too much, and it's like, well, it's an all-you-can-eat. What do you expect?
At the age of 15, I was given vouchers and asked to leave Pizza Hut for eating too much during their all-you-can-eat time, which worked out quite well for me because I was just about full when they said, if we give you some vouchers, will you leave?
That's brilliant.
Someone I used to work with once posted on Facebook how they were gonna. It was their birthday and they were going to eat their weight in food, and I was like, "Big deal! You're a skinny bastard. Try eating my weight in food."
Oh, I watched a video the other day, and it was a guy that must have been about 12 stone, and he ate the daily diet of the world's largest woman. And it was a woman that was about 90 stone, and it was 4 meals, and each meal was 4 plates. And the first meal, 1 plate had 5 giant iced donuts, another was an entire pack of bacon, another was a 12-egg omelette. And I worked the calories out, and he ate in this one day what I'd eaten 15 days.
Fucking hell.
Wow. That's like heart attack waiting to happen.
And the next day, the video was uploaded at his funeral.
The guys on the internet, is he called Nikocado Avocado?
Oh, I'm not sure. Never.
He got famous doing like mukbang videos, but he used to be like really slim.
Yeah.
And then just started doing like crazy mukbang videos, just snapping food down. But like now he's like skinny again.
No, that's bad. A lot of exercise in between the fucking munchies, like.
I think he should stop doing the eating videos and just like got healthy again.
Yeah, I can't be bothered with that. I'd just rather eat what I enjoy.
I'll just stuff my face. It's
Yeah.
easy to buy. It's easy to buy new clothes when your old clothes don't fit.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with that. So we're going to start discussing the Game of the Year awards. I don't know what we're going to call them. The Pedzys. No, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, we're going to start off with one of 4 categories. There's not going to be a lot of categories because last year I think the podcast went on a bit long, at 2.5 hours ish. So we're going to try and do 4 categories. Keep it down a little bit, and time, and go from there. And the first category is worst game of 2023. So we'll start that with Doomed Prinny. What is the worst game you played in 2023? That was released in 2023.
I've forgotten.
So bad you can't even remember what it's called. Come back to you. Okay.
There's been so many good releases I've forgotten, so come back to me.
Okay, we'll move over to Jeff. Jeffyard. What was the worst game you played in 2023?
I don't know whether I played too many games in 2023 that were released in 2023. I was just scrolling through now when you mentioned those two. Maybe. I don't think that's either 2023 either. Sorry.
This is a good start, guys. No one's played any games.
I can think of 3 stinkers that I've only played a bit of.
I've got 3 stinkers: Gollum, King Kong, and is it the day before that? Oh, not the day before.
Gollum was released in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never played Gollum, but.
All right. Well, that doesn't help, Jeff. That doesn't help.
I've played these 3, I know, but not a lot.
Well, okay. We'll move to Kerr and we'll come back to Jeff and Prinny. What's the worst game you played in 2023?
It's a toss-up between Gargoyles Remastered.
It's not meant to be good, though, Gargoyles.
The original was, but I just think this is a crap remaster. Wasn't needed. Doesn't make it better. In fact, I'd say it makes it worse. The other bad ones, Flashback 2. They waited far too long, and I just think it's a bit of a piss-poor effort. And then probably the one which I imagine had the highest budget and ultimately is boring, Prime Boss Rocket City. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I've not heard of that.
It's,
I think I might have.
Danny Trejo and stuff in it.
Yeah, it's a new IP. It's got Danny Trejo, Michael Madison, Chuck Norris, Kim Basinger, Danny Glover, Michael Rooker.
Yeah,
all of them in it.
It's
a crap Payday sort of thing, really. Oh, it's got Vanilla Ice in it as well, because, why not? It's a first-person heist shooter where you get 4 people and make a gang that's going to complete missions in a fictitious city that's like a 80s, 90s Miami.
Do they rap in it?
Not that I saw, but I didn't play much of it. I was at a friend's house and they chucked it on. And I was just like, this is shit. It's just a bad Payday. You'd be better off playing any of the Payday games.
That's a shame. When it was shown, when it was originally shown, I thought it looked pretty cool. But at the same time, I also didn't think it'd just be Payday. I thought it'd be more to it.
I was expecting Grand Theft Auto. I
used to be like Grand Theft Auto, but with like real actors in it.
I think, if you'd give those actors and that premise to like the team that did Saints Row or something, and gone make a stupid as fuck Grand Theft Auto style game where you've got like Danny Trejo pulling out knives and Michael Rooker shooting people, it could have been really fun. Could have been daft over the top, and I just think it's really wasted. And I remember it coming out to massive announcements and then just literally everybody going, this is shit.
That's good, because it looked like interesting.
Yeah, I think they did a good job of publicising it, building up to its release, but it's probably not the worst game. But I think, when you're boring and you don't deliver what you promised,
Yeah.
kind of worse. At least if it's really crap, you can just have a laugh as people glitch through walls and, things go wrong. But being boring is sort of the worst crime possible by a game.
Yeah. Any media, if it's just boring, it's kind of like, you don't really want to pour any effort into doing anything with it either. Nothing worse than mediocrity in my eyes.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jeff.
What about you, Cumberdanes? What's the worst game you played in 2023?
It pains me to say it, because I put a lot of hours into this game. But Starfield?
No.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, because I did. But that said,
I love it.
I think it's still the most meh new game that I played in 2023.
I think the reason why I don't think it's the worst game I played in 2023, but I can see why you would say that, because it's literally just fucking Morrowind with a new fucking skin.
I was so hyped for that game, because I like Bethesda games as a rule.
Yeah, I put in a lot of time into it, but at the same time, it's kind of like Bethesda need to actually do something.
And need to do something new, seriously. You're better off if someone said to me they were going to play Starfield, I'd probably say go and play Outer Worlds instead.
Yeah, Outer Worlds is great.
It's a better game with a similar premise. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah,
when it's good, it's good. I can't say otherwise. But for the most part, it's just it's a slog.
Yeah, I think another thing that didn't help is the constant menus.
There's too many menus.
I know they're different games, but No Man's Sky, you can take off, fly off to another planet, go, oh, you see that over there? You can fly to it, and you literally can.
Yeah.
When Todd Howard's, oh, look at that, you can go to it. See that moon? You can go to it. It's literally, you go to a menu and click on moon. It's not the same thing, Todd.
There was so many levels to the menu just to get just to a healing item or something. You had to unless you had a hotkey and could just use the hotkey, you had to click through so many different screens just to get to pages of the inventory.
Yeah.
And the map. Oh God, don't get me started on the map. When you land on a planet, and I know it's randomly generated and whatnot, but the map screen was horrific.
Yeah, the thing is
it showed nothing.
I get that with the randomly generated planets, but when it comes to the planets with where you're in a town, even they were bollocks.
Yeah, there should have been, for the towns and stuff like that, well, cities and all that kind of jazz, there should be at least a proper map for them.
Yeah, and another thing that kind of bugged me is you go to a planet where people have settled there for hundreds of years, they've got this space age fucking technology, and yet they've got one little city and some mining things around an entire planet. It's come on.
Yeah, that's a bit shit. That Wild West kind of planet's like that. Well, every planet's like that. Everywhere you go, there's one big city on the whole planet, and the rest is just wasteland.
Yeah, it's like Fallout on a bigger scale.
Yeah. The thing was quite cool. What I thought was quite cool in it was the Earth monuments, until I realised I'd missed one and couldn't get them all.
You could have got it on another playthrough.
Couldn't be asked to play it again.
That's fair enough. I did actually play through it twice. It's much, much quicker on the second playthrough.
Yeah,
I've heard it. It's because you can skip a lot of the shit, can't you?
Yeah. You can.
You just skip through the story quests or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think there's a lot of little tweaks they could have made to it that would have really helped. It's I love building the ships in it, but sometimes it won't let you have the ship because it says something's not right.
Yeah, there was.
And they could make a little thing where it'll self-correct it for you.
That would be easier.
Make a bit of an easy build so that you can be more creative. Because sometimes you put loads of different bits together and then it'll just go, no, it doesn't work. Something's not connected to something, and you're like,
Yeah, I never got my hair on the shipbuilding thing. I just used pre-made ships.
I've spent loads of time building ships, but it was annoying if you'd gone the whole step of building something and then something wasn't. It'd say like the docking bay wasn't connected right to the bridge, or
I had that one. There's a bit in the storyline when you've got to put some gadgets on the ship to get through like a electrical storm or something.
Yeah.
And it kept saying, no, that's not connected properly. You can't put it there. And I'm like, well, why is it letting me put it there then?
I mean, that would have been easy, wouldn't it? A bit of coding that would just like smart connect things for you, just solve the issues with it. Even if it charged you a few credits or something.
So yeah, for the most part, I just stuck with the ships I was given, mainly the one that I got from that Mantis quest.
Oh yeah, that was a cool ship.
I used the main ship that you get given, but I added on a couple of like cargo holds to carry more stuff. Yeah. Then I got the Mantis ship and I used that for a little bit and then went back to the other one because it had more storage and they could do more things because of the storage and stuff up on. I could do more, but it just wasn't quite as good in combat. Then I got another ship which I preferred again and used that. It was the one for the Rangers quests. And then I got the narwhal right at the end and I was like, cool. And then I used it for like the one jump to get to the end of the game. Pretty much. And it's like, okay, I spent 400,000 credits to use a fucking ship once.
Oh wow! Yeah, that was, I would say, definitely my worst new game of the year.
That's another thing that would be good on it: a credit-free mode, so you could peer around with building ships without any limitations.
Yeah, it'd be
just
something
as a side thing.
Could do but who knows if Bethesda would be willing to do that? I think the biggest issue really is Bethesda just haven't moved on at all. Yeah, it's like it's not even. It's like they're just treading water and resting on their laurels now, with no real drive.
I'm almost looking forward to Avowed now more than like
Elder Scrolls
6. Yeah, I think Avowed will probably be a better game.
Well, it's by Obsidian, so it should be.
Yeah.
Prinny, what about you? Have you thought of the worst game you played in 2023? You haven't got one, it's fine. Oh, you got it, nice.
It's Infinity Strash. It's the Dragon Quest game.
Oh yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, so basically, if you do a little bit of research, but I'll explain why I particularly didn't like it. But it's basically the retelling of the original anime.
Can I ask why you think it's the worst game of the year because it's got a stupid fucking name?
Yeah, nobody understood it. And it wasn't even Dragon Quest Infinity Strash. It's Infinity Strash, Dragon Quest Adventures of Dai, because it's just trying to detach from the canon main series. So it's just a offshoot one. Basically, it's
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a retelling of the anime because I actually watched the original anime today in Japanese on VHS, and it's not actually done by Akira Toriyama, completely different artist. So they redid it all, which is great because you can't get the anime now. It's because it's all very old and they never remastered it. But it's like every time I did some gameplay, the gameplay was fine. I streamed it a few times. It was quite fun, but every time you got to a point, it was like massive cutscene or really long tutorial or long FMV. I'm just sitting there like, if I wanted to watch the anime, I'd just watch the anime. Like, none of this is anything new. It was just exactly copy and paste.
Yeah, just like long static images as well, though, with text.
Yeah. It's just it just really broke up the gameplay. So that was really hard for me to get into because I was trying to learn how to play it and stuff. And you learn moves and you get different characters, and it's quite fun. But it's hard for me to like, if I wanted to play Persona, I know what I'm asking for. But for this game, I was like, oh come on, man! I'm actually like getting into this. But now there's another bloody massive anime cutscene, and then another massive tutorial I can't get out of. You can't skip. So that was another issue. So I was playing that on PlayStation,
Which as well,
4.
and an Xbox.
Yeah. I think it's on everything. Steam as well, maybe.
Someone from Square complained when I said the name sounded like Infinity's Trash, which it literally does. It literally says Infinity's Trash.
It's easy to get that mistake, especially if you're dyslexic as well.
It was like, well, why don't you try reading it again? I was like, I don't think you're getting what I'm saying, mate.
Yeah.
I'm playing other games with a ridiculously shit name.
But it's a shame though, because the anime is really nice, the music's amazing. They've done a really good job remastering it. It's just the way they've put it together. I don't think it's a good match. And if you look around, nobody's really talking about it. I think everyone was intrigued when it first came out, and then it died out so quick. But
wasn't that the same with another Dragon Quest game last year? There was that spin-off to Dragon Quest 11 that got a bit of hype, and then people were like, actually, it's a bit shit.
Treasures.
That's the one. That got quite a lot of initial hype, and then when it came out, people were like, actually, yeah, it's a bit shit.
it's a shame, isn't it? These spin-offs aren't doing very well.
I love builders though. They could make Dragon Quest builders till the end of
Played them
time.
recently. I
Yeah.
think I'm nearing the end of the first chapter. That's a lot of fun.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I've not played.
I didn't think I would like builders because I've never really got on with Minecraft, but builders is fun.
I think from what little I've played of builders is one thing that it has advantage of in comparison to Minecraft. It has a goal, whereas Minecraft doesn't.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got a fixed campaign. There's a point to it.
Yeah.
I haven't really played much of Dragon Quest, but if I ever make a Dragon Quest game, I'll do the Adventures of Dai, because it's spelt the same as Dai, as in Daikatana and Adventures of Dai, but it's Dai, so his name is David, but he's Dai from the valleys, and he'll be like, oh no, I dropped my sheep. I don't even think that was a Welsh accent, because I was trying to do a stronger Welsh accent and sounded fucking something else. I don't know what. But you know what I mean? Adventures of Dai. From the valleys he is. And he likes to shag his sheep.
Whose sword is that, Claymore?
Oh, you've got to kill you've got to kill a boss. You'll be here in a minute now.
Where do you find him over by there?
Isn't it fun how I could take the piss out of my own country? What about Jeff? Has Jeff got a worst game of 2023?
Give me 2 seconds. I've just bought a game called Lost Princess Darkness on Steam. That was released on 28th of December 2023. I'm just loading it up now.
You just bought a random shit game.
Yeah, it's a walking simulator.
Walking simulators are not necessarily bad. What's it? Edith Finch? That's really good.
Class.
That's fucking cracking. And Gone Home is good as well.
Firewatch is really good as well.
And Firewatch.
Well, it's got 2 reviews on it. One says it's all right because it can be beaten in 45 minutes. The other one is a guy pretending to be a crow. It's going, caw, caw. Why's this game ruining my graphics card? But the menu looks nice.
Jeff!
Just playing now.
Gone Home is you're a woman, you're returning home from a trip around like America. I'm pretty sure you go to America, Mexico, Europe, and then you return home, and for some reason no one is in your home, and then you have to like work out why. Stuff like that.
Kind of like everyone's gone to the Rapture.
Yeah, I guess I'd not played that, but it's not as sinister as that, and it's more of a not so much sinister, but it's not as sad, I guess.
Yeah, I would highly recommend What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah, What Remains of Edith Finch is great. I think I played that this year, actually.
I played it a couple of years ago. I think I only played it because I heard it was short, and I fancied just something that I could quickly just rattle through.
I streamed it. I was just like, I'll just play a game. Oh, I'll play that.
I just loved how every chapter had a different art style. That was cool.
Yeah.
Especially the chapter about the basement.
I remember really enjoying it. It's like...
I'm not going to say anything because everyone wants to play it because it'll kind of ruin it, but there's a chapter where you have to go to the basement for some reason, and that chapter's really cool.
So, what's Jeff's worst game of the year then?
Well, it literally was Lost Princess Darkness.
So why was it so bad then, Jeff?
Oh, it's just walking. It did look nice. It's all right. But of the 3 games that I've played that were released in 2023, all right.
Oh, Jeff, you're a funny guy. Literally, shit, I'm playing mini games. I'll buy one quickly and have a quick go. Kid. Oh, fair play.
I've got to buy. There's one called like Girlfriend Simulator, but that's released in 2024. So,
we can't use that then.
yeah,
Maybe next year.
maybe next year. For next year's podcast, and I create my little Pedz girl.
Okay, then we'll ask Jeff this question: what game did you enjoy most that wasn't released in 2023? Previously to 2023.
Well, I've just bought this new game called Girlfriend Simulator. That's released in 2024. That's it. I did play Ratchet and Clank on PS5 Rift Apart.
Okay.
I think that one would be up there for me.
Why is that then? Technical achievements, fun gameplay, good story.
All of that and more. I've always been a big fan of the Ratchet and Clank series, so yeah, it's being the game that I wanted to get to. Got a PS5 this year, so I was finally able to get to it and had a blast with it.
So it's a game you'd recommend, is it? Shenmue 3?
I'd recommend it.
Well, Shenmue 3?
Ratchet and Clank. Shenmue 3.
How does it compare to the older Ratchet and Clank games then? Because like I've not played much of any of the Ratchet and Clank games. I've played a little bit of like one on the PlayStation 3, and I think that's it. How does it compare to previous titles then? Is it as good as them? Is it, because obviously I think the focus changed. Weren't there more platforming than there is now, and now it's more action and platforming, or is it kind of shaking it up a bit and gone a bit more middling?
Yeah, it's I mean, we're quite narrative focused, I suppose. It's quite more linear, so you're always pointed out where you need to go, which the older ones didn't, or not so much. And yeah, but as you say, Ratchet and Clank 1 was sort of more platforming with shooting elements, whereas this is more action with platform elements. So it's evolved. I've enjoyed it all, but there's just something about the earlier Ratchets that I really dig. So, and it's quite a short title as well. Probably do it in. I think maybe it took me about 15 hours, so you could probably do it.
That's not short. I can complete My Name is Mayo in less than an hour.
There you go. You can complete Lost Princess. What's her face?
Princess What's Her Face. I don't know. It's your worst game of the year.
Yeah, so bad I forgot about it. Forgot its title.
Kerr, what about you? What was your favorite game that which was released previous to 2023? I have to add previous in now because of Jeff.
I'm sorry.
Has to be Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh, nice.
I catch you again.
I love that game. I played it and finished it when it first came out, and I've just kept going back to it. And I think the fact that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is out at the end of this month, and I've known that's coming, just, made me go back to the last one. I just love the fact that it's an RPG that's not like Space Age or Monsters. The fact it's modern day and gangsters, but it's also Sega related and nutty. I just love it. I love the mini games in it because there's like a Mario Kart ripoff, but then there's a business
and collecting as well.
Yeah, and there's a business simulation in it where you run sweet shops, which is surprisingly really good. That I'd play a spin-off game of it on its own.
All right. That was the arcade in Like a Dragon.
Yeah, I know there's arcades in it, but I can't remember what games
Because obviously, like the
it
older
was. I
Yakuza
think
games,
Space Harriers one.
Space Harriers classic. So
The new
it
one is
automatically
gonna
gets
have,
great.
the new one's going to have, is it Spike Out Final Edition?
I think so, yeah.
Which is like a arcade beat 'em up that never made it out of the arcade. I think it was meant to get a Dreamcast port at some point, but never did.
People say it's weird, isn't it? Because they keep like tucking away some of these arcade games that have
Yeah.
never been released much, just in the background of Yakuza, or as they call them now, Like a Dragon games. And it's like, if you made a compilation cart or disc, people would eat this shit
Oh,
up.
definitely.
Why have they changed the name to Like a Dragon now? Then
That's what it's always been called in Japan.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I
Effectively,
didn't know that.
Yeah.
the Japanese name translates as Like a Dragon, but for some reason they call them Yakuza.
Otoko, I think it is.
I didn't know though, but now I do. I just assumed it was called Yakuza.
Nah, it's always been
I
called
did
like
think it was an Eggman Robotnik thing, like, you know. I still prefer Robotnik to Eggman.
Mustache Phil, that's his name. No one gets that reference, but that's what I call him.
Yeah. Whenever I think of Phil, I think of Uncle Phil from fucking Fresh Prince Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Actually, a YouTuber I like calls him Mustache Phil, and I just think it sounds funny, so I started calling him that as well.
How does Like a Dragon compare then? Because obviously it's an RPG with turn-based battles, I believe, isn't it? Like a Dragon compared to the other ones where you play as I can't remember his name. The other guy, it's
Who do you?
Yeah.
yeah, Kiryu. He's punchy kicky. Like you press buttons to punch and kick instead of selecting something to punch and kick.
I really like the selecting in this because I'm a big RPG
Same.
fan, so it appeals to me probably more. I like the older ones well enough. They're good, but to me, this style is perfect. And like I said, because it's an RPG that's modern day and not like fantasy, it's a bit different to other things.
There you go. The Adventures of Dai is going to be set in the modern day. Fucking perfect.
This is the thing, right? It's Like a Dragon, and it pokes fun at it. It's trying to be Dragon Quest, and the main character Ichiban talks about it all the time.
It does.
Yeah, so it's quite ironic. So yeah, and I, same as Kerr, I picked up Like a Dragon purely because it was turn-based, and that's the style I like, and it's everything you like in Yakuza, but I think even better. So I'm looking forward to the next one as well.
VG, where the mission is just to go to the shop and buy 20 tabs. That's the grand quest. Just some bloke trying to get to the corner shop to buy a pack of 20 tabs.
It's got to be done, guys.
Yeah, well, I don't smoke, and I'm glad I don't, because the prices of cigarettes nowadays is a fucking piss take.
I should say tabs as cigarettes, so people don't.
Yeah, you have to take out a fucking loan just to buy a pack of 20 nowadays. You own a house? Well, remortgage that fucking thing, and you can get a pack of 20 Benny Hedgehogs. That's Benson and Edges, by the way. Cumberdanes, what game did you enjoy most that was not released in 2023, but you played in 2023?
Shadow Hearts on the PS2. Which is it's an old JRPG that I started back when it first came out. I think it was in like 2000, 2001 maybe, but got right to the end and never finished. And I've always wanted to go back and finish it, but it's getting up in price now, so I haven't been able to play it because it's too expensive to buy. And I got a new computer, I could emulate it. So yeah, I emulated it, and it's really bloody good.
Did you finish it? I can't remember.
Yeah, I finished it on stream. It's like it's set. What makes it different from most RPGs is, first off, it's set in the real world. It's like it's not in some crazy fantasy realm or whatever. It is still like monsters and demons, but it plays a lot on like the Asian mythology. So it's like creatures from Japanese mythology, like kappas, that kind of thing, oni.
Mm-hmm.
And it's set like just before World War One. So it's not only in the real world; it's like a real point in time. It's like just before World War One breaks out. And what makes it interesting as well is the villains aren't like straight up ha 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 I'm the bad guy. They've got like real motives.
So they like bad guys who think they're doing something not necessarily bad, but that is like
noble.
Noble.
They've actually got noble goals. Like one guy, the main villain of the game, his main thing is he's seen that World War One is coming, and he wants to stop World War One ever happening. But it's just the way he's going about it.
That's interesting.
And it plays a lot on the idea of like gods, of like the human's perception of gods. Like I feel with Stargate.
Yeah.
You know how the gods in Stargate are just really powerful aliens.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. The way the game puts it is, imagine like an ant compared to a human, and that's what a god is compared to a human. They're just beings like we are, but infinitely more powerful than we are.
Yeah, I get that.
It's a really, really cool game.
Shadow Heart is a sequel to Kudulka, isn't it? I think that's how you pronounce it.
It is, yes. It's a sequel to the bad ending of Kudulka.
Is it how does it compare gameplay wise?
I've never actually played Kudulka, but from what I understand, the gameplay is nothing like it.
Oh, okay, there you go. Because
it's more of a standard JRPG.
Yeah,
with some timing based attacks, like in say like Paper Mario.
Oh, right, because I've played a little bit of that.
The timing doesn't just come into the combat; it comes into the shops as well. If you get your timing right on the spinning wheel thing, you can get like massive discounts on like buying and selling in the shops as well.
That's cool. That's cool. Because like I've like I was saying, I've played a little bit of that Kudulka or whatever it's called, and that is kind of like an RPG, but with like a weird system of movement and stuff. Like you move around a little board.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I've only played a little bit, and it's set in Aberystwyth.
Yeah, you go back to where Kudulka is set in Shadow Hearts.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to get around to them. I first heard of Shadow Hearts, not the previous game, through a Kickstarter being done of the guy or people who were behind Shadow Hearts were doing a Kickstarter for a new game.
Yeah, it's a double thing. They're making like a kind of a new Shadow Hearts and like a sort of a new Wild Arms.
Yeah. So I played a little bit of Wild Arms on PlayStation Plus.
Wild Arms is good.
I've done the 3 intros, so that's about it.
It kind of looks like it should have been a SNES game. It makes me wonder if it was maybe planned as a SNES game.
Very, very possible.
Because it's mostly top down, apart from the battle scenes, which kind of go into 3D. It makes me wonder if maybe it was planned for the SNES CD, the same way that Secret of Mana was.
Totally possible. I wouldn't have a clue with all myself. So yeah, Prinny, what about you? 2023. What did you play?
Game that I played that didn't come out that year. Definitely, it's gonna have to be Live Alive. So that was remastered onto, I think, every console and PC. So I was playing it on PS4, and it's amazing because it's kind of, it shows you kind of the map of how they've then gone and made Octopath Traveler. I've never played the original, never heard of it till this year, and it's a awesome RPG where you play so many different characters and how they all cross each other at the end. I haven't completely finished it yet, so please no spoilers. But I think that was probably like my third most played game, 2023. I think I spent far too long like playing it, certain chapters like 2 or 3 times.
That's cool.
To see like different, like if I would get a different outcome or if I'd unlock different things. Like for example, there was one chapter you play as a ninja, and there's 2 ways of playing it. You either play aggressively and kill everyone, or you play stealthily and don't harm anyone. And both give you completely different, well, I mean, same outcomes, but 2 different changes. So yeah, I invested a lot of time in that. I really enjoyed it. It's supposed to be a very, very short game, and yeah, I think again, what was that on think maybe SNES. No, even before SNES.
SNES
It was
originally.
on SNES, yeah.
Oh, it was, yeah. First, oh my god, it was fantastic. And obviously, they'd redone the graphics, made it look amazing. The music's, I already knew the music was absolute bop because I was playing the music on Final Fantasy Theatre Rhythm. It's DLC there. So, like, I was hearing the tracks and I was like, oh my god, these tracks are like iconic, like Megalomania and things like that. So, yeah, that was one I played and it just blew me away.
See, I haven't played it, but I knew of the game because Cumberdanes' brother, still alive, has mentioned it in Cumberdanes' chat.
He's pretty obsessed with it.
Yeah, he's finished it like 500 times. The
Yeah,
original
so much
version
to-
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like really quirky things you can unlock in conversations as well, and that's the kind of thing I liked when I used to play JRPGs like on the Sega Saturn. So I think maybe that's why I've got such an affinity with this game. It just reminds me of every aspect that I like in a JRPG.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. That it's something that I want to check out. Even definitely worth checking out. I haven't fucking played it, but it sounds interesting, and I think it'd be worth checking out for that reason. Also, like I said, still alive. I've mentioned it a few times, and he's made it sound interesting as well. So, you know. But I like the sound of the whole different like stories, and then it all combining at the end somehow. I don't know how, but I think it does.
Yeah. But they're all set in different time periods as well. So past, present, future, distant future, Edo period. So it's all, yeah, really, each chapter is very different. Some chapters are like 1 hour long. Some chapters are like 10 hours long. Like it really, and the gameplay on each chapter is different. One is literally based like, yeah, that one. It's like a fighting tournament. It's so cool, and it's just like, what? I didn't see this coming. Like, what's going on here? And there's certain bits you can't even save. You have to rely on the autosave because there's literally no option to. So you have to play it smart as well. So yeah, it keeps you on your feet. You're not going to get bored. Whereas like if it's just a standard set alone game, you know, there's a different feel for it. Whereas this, you kind of like, I can't just pick up and drop this, like, because I don't know what's going to happen in the next chapter. Or I had the one chapter which I spent so long on, the ninja one, because it was so complex. I picked the stealth route, and I think I spent probably the majority of my 35 hours so far just on that level. But it really does depend on if you play it blind, or if you want to be that person who kind of Googles all the different FAQs and goes through it that way.
Yeah, I'm not Jazz. I'll play it myself. Yeah, I'm throwing shade at Jazz because he uses guides a lot. I don't know if he does. Cumberdanes does as well. Don't know who use guides for like playing certain games.
I'm not above using a guide.
Yeah, I'm not above using a guide. I just try and not use a guide to see how I fare. If I need to use a guide, I will use it.
To find out if there's stuff that I'm going to miss.
Yeah.
I like to know if there's stuff that I can miss. I like to know about it beforehand because I probably won't play the game again.
I won't play a game again unless.
Because I went back to Shadowhearts, I had to restart Shadowhearts 15 hours in when I realised I'd missed like a missable dungeon.
Yeah, I remember you saying about that. You were 15 hours in and restarted it. I was like, you fucking nuts. Starting it again. What is wrong with you? And you're like, I missed a dungeon. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I would just. The problem with me is if I had missed something important, I'd be like, oh, well, I've missed that now. I'll probably just stop playing the game and then I wouldn't play it because I'm fucking pathetic. So, Jeff, what about you? What about you, Jeff? Did I ask Jeff? I can't remember who I've asked.
You did. I chose Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, yeah. What about... Draw? I didn't even mention my worst game of the year.
You're asking yourself these questions? I just thought of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother with the game that I most enjoyed because it wasn't in 2023 because I can't be asked now. But my worst game of the year for 2023 was actually Gollum.
Oh, wow.
The reason why is Cricken on Twitter, when I used to use it, said, because I was unwell. And he's like, I can't wait for your review of Gollum. I'll fucking show you. So I got the game and reviewed it, and I fucking did not like it. It was shit. Don't get me wrong, it had some points that were okay, like when Gollum drowned or something. But other than that, the game wasn't very good.
The best bit was
looks
when he
dire.
died.
It was janky as fuck, man.
Didn't that like kill its developer
I
as well?
think it did, yeah. So some fucking right sending out fucking shit like that.
Yep.
More companies need to be held to account for bad fucking practices and bad games and releasing shitty
I was
stuff.
going to say, Pedz, if you look up the reviews for Gollum, there's so many trolls writing how amazing it is and how it's better than Spider-Man and everything. It's jokes. So you can't blame the companies for the bad press because everyone's trolling.
It is a very bad game. And honestly, much in it because, like I said, I've done a review on it. So if you want to check that out, go to Pedz Reviews on YouTube, and then you can watch the
reverse
review.
that though. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, but the developer of that went bust before the game ever came out, so it was released like slightly unfinished, and that's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
So a game killing off its development isn't always a bad thing.
Mm.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not their fault, but this was their fault. So yeah. It's a shame when companies lose. It's a shame when companies close down and stuff because a lot of the time, like the people working on it are not the issue. It's the people higher up who are like, do this or I'll crack you with my whip even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. We'll ask Kerr, what is the game you think is most overlooked for 2023?
Well, going back to one we've talked about before, I'd say Coffee Talk, Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. Because I actually thought it was a cracking game. Both of them are. And I think both of them should be played by more people. But obviously the second one is the only one that came out in the year we're on about. But it's just the fact...
Everyone didn't know it was out. Like, it was hardly advertised.
Yeah, it just... Number one seemed to have a lot of talk about it before it came out, and two just seemed to drop. So I think there's definitely a fault there somewhere with them not sort of getting the info out enough.
Yeah, I don't remember much being said about it. And like the I only knew of both of them through Game Pass, I believe, and that's how I ended up playing them. And obviously because of the podcast, but I never. Thinking about it, I didn't finish the second one. I'm gonna have to get back to that because I was really enjoying it. And obviously with the new characters added to the second game. You know, you still see some of the older characters, but you get some new characters. So you kind of get to see how people are progressing in the world of the game.
Yeah, it kept a good mix of old and new. There was enough new to be, interesting, but you got enough old faces to sort of keep it carrying on from the first one. I thought it was a great game. And for whatever reason, maybe lack of hype around it, it just didn't get the attention it deserves.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree that it's definitely an overlooked game. Especially as it adds in extra ingredients for your coffees and teas. So you can make even more varieties of lovely hot water. Cumberdanes, you, man. Most overlooked game of 2023.
For me, probably Wolong.
I was expecting to say Starfield as a joke.
Nah, Wolong.
Wolong. Yeah.
Because I remember at the time it was like it reviewed really well when it first came out with like a lot of like sources saying it was like a early game of the year candidate, and then it just sort of died off. I'm wondering if maybe on Game Pass sort of hurt it a little bit because it's a Souls type game, so it's really hard. And I wonder if a lot of people, because I think in the first week it launched, it was like in the top like few games played on Game Pass like for that week, and I'm wondering if lots of people thought, I'll give that a try.
Yeah,
and then it was hard, and went, it's hard because the first boss in it is really fucking hard.
Yeah, it was.
Anyone who's played it, they'll know what I'm talking about. The first boss is ridiculously hard, even by Souls game standards.
Yeah,
and it's not a trick boss. Like you're not meant to die to it. You have to beat it to move on to the main game. So I'm wondering if a lot of people just tried that one boss and went, nah, fuck this, I'm done.
I'm wondering if a lot of people, like, there will be a little bit of a spoiler here, right? I wonder if a lot of people struggled, like, fuck, finally killed him for them to get a second form. And be like, what? And you're like, oh, really? Nah, fuck this shit. Because I was like, finally, I've killed him. And then
he does have a second form, yeah.
And then he gets a second form. First fucking boss of the game. 2 forms.
Yeah.
Wow.
As he's about to die, he goes, this isn't even my final form. And then
so
he becomes Frieza.
I think that's why he died off. But if you actually persist with it, it's a really good game.
It is a fun game, but
it is really tough. Like it starts off, the first boss is really hard, then it gets easier for a while, then it gets really tough in the middle, and then the end is actually surprisingly easy. It's weirdly paced with its difficulty.
Do you think it was the timing that it came out too close to like Elden Ring or something?
Well, no, Elden Ring was last year. It was like that was 2022.
Oh no.
Like Warlong was an early 23 game though. It was March 23.
Do you know what? I think I expected Wulong to come out a lot later, but it came out again. I think like Coffee Talk 2. It flew past me because I actually really wanted to get this game.
That was about a year after Elden Ring, because Elden Ring was February 22.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just I heard about it at Gamescom and I played the demo and it was fantastic. But I don't know. Again, like they released it and then I missed it and then I was like, I'll wait for it to get on sale.
Sort of came
about it. Yeah.
And then what annoyed me was because toward the end, when some bits of it were getting more difficult, I was wanting to get summon people in to help, like for co-op, but getting co-op partners was just impossible.
Oh yeah, you have to play online. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could only use the AI summons, and they were just useless. They would die as soon as the boss fight starts. They were just pathetic.
I'm getting flashbacks for Stranger of Paradise.
Just run into the boss and die.
Yeah.
That sounds very helpful. Very beneficial to summon in something. Yep. Prinny, most overlooked game of 2023.
It will be In Stars and Time. I'm not sure if a lot of people still know about this game, but it's an indie-made game. It's made in the style of like a Pokemon type game. It's in black and white, and it's RPG. It's really, really cute. It's got 8-bit music, and it's all about you play a character who. It just starts off with him in a town, and you have to find the rest of his party members, and basically recruited to help them like save the world, go to this castle and break this kind of like time warp they're stuck in. And now every time you kind of go to do something, you'll die, and then you will respawn at the beginning. So it's like Groundhog Day. And it's just a very, very charming game, especially for indie. No massive backing, and it just looks beautiful. Cheaply done, but done very, very well. And it's just very, very like, even with the writing, it's very modern. A lot of like fun little pop culture references, and they have kind of kept it quite open. Like it will appeal to most people with like LGBT plus, like a bit of everything in the story, so it will appeal to someone in some way. It's a very, very cute game.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the trailer for it now because I don't remember even hearing about this game.
Yeah, because it's indie, they didn't have money to promote, but yeah, I think a lot of people like reviewed it and played it because it's quite cheap, and were amazed by it.
Yeah, I've stuck it on my wish list for now. I'll definitely grab that down the line. But it looks really, really nice.
Yeah,
you know?
It's adorable.
It is an adorable looking game. So that is something
I would
that I've added
suggest
to
as
my
well,
list.
if you like 8-bit as well, the soundtrack's amazing. Yeah.
Also,
I think more indie devs need to reach out to their fans more and work out interesting ways of promotion.
So the indie dev for this game actually did reach out to ask them to write reviews if anyone did buy it or review it for I think on the Steam page, and also it's started getting votes for I can't remember which award, but loads of people have been like helping to big up this game. So I think they are doing well. But if they had more resources, it would have been a big thing. Like the well, I don't really want to compare it to other indie games, but yeah, if it had a bit of help, it would have. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be the only one in this chat talking about it. Yeah,
The only one of us to even know what it is at the moment.
Yeah.
Jeffyard. What is your most overlooked game of 2023?
Oh, I've got. I was thinking of which games I played in 2023. Has anybody heard of Cassette Beasts?
yeah.
Set piece, yeah.
Oh, I'm not that then.
Just because we've heard of it doesn't mean that a lot of other people have heard of it.
Yeah, I
I've
think
heard
more
of
people
it.
need to know about Cassette Beasts. I think you should talk about it.
Yeah, I only know a cassette piece because I saw it was coming and I thought, ooh, that's a Pokemon-like game. How about I ask Doomspoon to play that with me and we discuss it on the podcast?
Yeah, I think you're the reason Jeff played it.
See, Jeff? I'm an influencer now.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just like a Pokemon game. It's a pretty cool story, and you can combine all of the beasts together. So yeah, definitely worth grabbing if you can.
Very insightful, Jeff.
Yeah, you're not really selling it to me.
It's very weird. Like you don't really know where you are. Like the setting, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, it's yeah, but the setting's quite because yeah, it's sort of like don't know whether you're in like some sort of purgatory or something like that, and it's quite 80s inspired as well. With the music and yeah, it's just a really good Pokemon clone. And although I can't recall much of a story at the moment, I do remember enjoying it.
Have we
Most
finished it
importantly,
yet, Jeff? I can't
you
remember.
get a dog to join your team. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, Dandelion. The dog.
Have we
Yeah.
finished it, Jeff?
I have. I've not done the DLC, but I've finished main game.
Oh, nice. I haven't finished the main game. Even my son keeps nagging at me to hurry up and carry on with it because he wants to talk to me about certain things, but I haven't seen them yet. And it's like, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. I've got too much to play, and too much to watch, and too much to do.
I think it's hard for you kids. You're like bloody work and shit to do.
Yeah, you just go to school.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, school sucks.
The final boss was really good.
And they'll have to like do laundry and do chores and shit. They just sit around doing enough all day.
Exactly. Exactly, lazy bastards. How dare they?
To get jobs, go right down the mine.
Yeah, down the mines.
I'll go to the workhouse.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think all the mines around you are flooded, so if they try and go there, they need a fucking
I think one of the mines around my way was
scuba suit.
One of the mines around my way. I think it was called Ellamore Colliery. That was like one of the last working coal mines in England.
Yeah, I don't think there's any fucking coal mines anyway.
It's gone now, but I think it closed when I was in like secondary school. So like what, 25-ish year ago maybe.
Good old Maggie closed all our mines. She doesn't like us Welsh people.
Bloody Maggie Thatcher.
Fuck the Tories.
Maggie Thatcher.
Fuck the Tories indeed. Jeff's not a Tory, thankfully. Are you Jeff?
No. I'm in my coal mine right now.
Jeff strikes me as someone who would vote for Monster Raven Looney Party.
Jeff probably has.
Good old Screaming Lord Such. Although he's dead now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're still going there. The Monster Raven Looney Party.
No idea.
I know they went after his passing, but I'm not sure if they're still going.
We'll find out. Is an action next year or this year?
Yeah, but even if they were still going, would they have a candidate in your area?
Probably not in my area, no.
Yeah.
I know we had a candidate for the piracy party near me at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Is that piracy of as in they want to do pirating, or piracy as in downloading shit for free?
As in films and games and stuff.
I know. I once worked with a guy who had
They want to abolish copyright.
I once worked with a guy who had a criminal record for piracy on the high seas. Which I think is really funny. Do you know what he actually did? He stole a pedalo from a boating lake and took it out on the sea.
Oh, wow.
And the police didn't know what to charge him with. So they went with piracy on the high seas.
Oh, wow.
Why not just theft of a pedalo?
They just thought, I don't know, maybe it sounded funny. Piracy on the high seas.
Brilliant. Who else haven't I asked about most overlooked game before we carry on?
Yourself, I think.
Don't worry about me. We'll just move on to Game of the Year. I can skip me because I'm the boss.
Your opinions don't matter because you're Welsh.
Exactly.
It's not even a real country anyway.
So then, Game of the Year. We'll ask Cumberdanes, what is your Game of the Year for 2023?
Liza P.
Ah, the Pinocchio game where you murder shit.
Yep, I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I would probably say it's the best Souls game I've played that's not made by FromSoft.
That's pretty surprising. Because obviously there's Wolong, Neo, Ninja Blade, which was made by FromSoft and is nothing like fucking Souls.
Lots of the Fallen's kind of a Souls.
Yeah, lots of the Fallen as well, yeah.
See the one? The sci-fi one. The Surge.
Yeah, that's the one. I heard the Surge 2 is supposed to be really good.
The Surge is really good, but it's very, very short.
Yeah, right.
And the bosses are a little cheap. Other than that, it's a really good game.
Remnant from the Ashes.
Yeah, that's kind of Souls-ish, I guess.
It's Souls with a gun. So you don't have to get close to things. You don't lose
shit when you die, do you, though?
No, that's true. That's true.
But it is similar to Souls where, like, the enemies all respawn when you die, that sort of thing. But yeah, Liza P is really, really good. It takes a good sort of dark turn on, like, the Pinocchio sort of story. It's similar to, say, what's that film with, is it Jude Law? Is it? No, not Jude Law. It's not AI. What's the other robot movie? I, Robot, the one with Will Smith. It sort of goes down that route where it's all about, like, Asimov's laws of robotics.
Yeah.
Where, like, robots, like, can't harm humans and stuff like that. Only in this it's puppets. But it's really, really similar. That's what I remember. Like, is puppets used to just be, like, basically robot servants for humans, and then some sort of event happens where the puppets all rebel and like turn on the humans, and now all the surviving humans are, like, holed up in various parts of this city. And, like, the character you play, he's never actually referred to as Pinocchio. I don't think he's ever actually named until right at the end. But he's like a very special puppet who can behave like a human because he can lie.
Yeah,
that's one of the other laws of puppets. Like, puppets can't tell lies, but this one puppet has been made with the ability to tell lies, and that sort of helps you through various stages throughout the game. And there's like a bit of a morality sort of system in it that determines, like, which ending you're going to get as well.
All right.
It's got some really cool bosses in it. The combat system is really fun. Some frustrating parts, but that's kind of par the course for a Souls type game. Particularly near the end, the last two bosses did have me sort of tearing my hair out a little bit. And it's got a really good ending. Like there's a good cliffhanger in the ending for a potential sequel or maybe DLC. I don't know.
Lies of T2.
It's going to be taking like a different sort of children's story.
All right.
Which is quite interesting.
Huh.
But yeah, I'd really recommend anyone. If you like Souls games, give it a try. If you don't, still give it a go. It's definitely worth playing.
I have installed it a few times, but then I've wanted to install something else, so I've ended up deleting it, so I haven't actually got around to it. I've installed it before it came out. Because with some games, you can preload them.
That reminds me, my brother mentioned there's an update for that. I think I see on Twitter it's getting taken down soon. There's like a Christmas update for it with some aesthetic items.
Oh, that's cool.
Like Christmas outfits for your dude.
You should jump on and get them, man.
Yeah, I should.
Prinny.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I will get around to it at some point, maybe, probably. It depends, because like a lot of people like compare it to Bloodborne, and I got bored of Bloodborne, so the only From games I finished was Souls games. Then is Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Yeah, the ones that just fell off.
But you got bored of Bloodborne because of farming for health items.
Mm.
There's no real farming for health items in Lies of P.
I'll have to check it out then, definitely.
It's you're pretty much always moving forward, really.
That's cool. Definitely worth checking out. Prinny, what was your game of the year?
For me, it would definitely have to be Disgaea 7.
Okay.
I have to. The reason why, obviously, you're probably thinking, "Oh yeah, Prinny, of course she likes Disgaea," but Disgaea 6 really disappointed a lot of fans. Just roughly to give you an idea, just because it was the first ever 3D game in the franchise, and it tried to embark on loads of different features, loads of different story tropes to kind of attract a new fan base, because NISA were kind of struggling to keep the company afloat.
Right.
Well, the good news is they succeeded and the company's still going. That game is like probably the least favorite out of all the 7 so far, but 7 they really made a comeback with 7. So I think they've struggled to maybe get a better reception for 7, because I think a lot of people have like just looked at it and gone, nah, not touching that. But as a big Disgaea fan, I've played it and it's kind of reawakened my love for the franchise again. And I hadn't been feeling this hype for it since maybe 4.
All right, it's been a while then.
Yeah, honestly. So they improved the 3D in this. They added more like cell shading. They went back to the original style of portraits. Little features like even in the menus. The voice acting has always been fantastic. They've maybe kept a few of the nice quality of life features, but they've calmed down some of the ridiculous things they put in 6. Like they put an auto AI mode, which kind of takes out the whole point of playing the game, because it's a dungeon crawler. It's supposed to be grindy, but if you've put AI in it just to do auto battles, then what's the point of even playing the game? Like, where's the feel of self-achievement? So you can use it, but not the way you could before unlimited. You have to like redeem a special item, and if you've got like 5 of those items, you can do auto battle 5 times, and you can literally just leave it there, let it do its thing, come back, and your fight's over. They've introduced loads of different character classes and things like that. I don't have to go too much into it, but also the story, they've decided to stick to one theme rather than 100. So it's kind of Edo Japan style. So if you're into that, I think you'll like it. And the games, I don't know. The characters are just so relatable in this one. I'm quite excited to do each chapter, but again, the story's so easy to get through, because that's the whole point of Disgaea. You kind of play it over and over to unlock different endings, unlock different features, unlock the hard mode, and then the super hard mode. And then you could be playing this game like 300-400 hours if you want it to.
It's quite short,
get all the
then.
special items. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I don't know, 6. I kind of just stopped playing it, and the story was good. And I'm thinking behind the scenes, I might offline play the story and then decide if I want to do extra stuff after, or I just might just invest all that time that I would have done, Game Plus with 6, but just do it on 7 because I'm just really enjoying 7 a lot.
That's cool. I've only played a little bit of the first one, and
Okay.
I would like to play more of them because I don't mind a nice. Is it tactical RPG?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
And but it's like I want to play the first one, but I know that there's Disgaea and Disgaea D2, and I'd rather play D2 because it follows on from the first game, but I can't seem to find it anyway, so it's kind of like until I can get both, I'll wait. And then I think you were saying the other day in your stream when I was there, there's a third one as well, which follows on the same story. See, it's annoying.
Yeah, because all the other games have all different characters, but then you do get DLC with all the original characters coming in. But yeah, the original Disgaea had, I think, probably the favourite cast of Lahore, Flawn, and Etna, and people do tend to go for that one. And that was the only one that had several games of it. Yeah.
It does have a modern console port though.
Which one?
Disgaea 1.
Yeah, I've got that one, but it's more
the PC version.
It's more D2 and what was it? Something of Darkness.
Afternoon of Darkness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Afternoon of Darkness is just the PSP port of 2, isn't it?
Is it? I wouldn't know.
Oh, you might be able to get that then, Pedz.
Yeah, so I could play the 2 games. Proper.
Because there's 2 on the PSP that are just ports of the first 2 PS2 games. With extra content.
Ooh.
Vita 3 and 4 are like that as well. The ones they're like the PS3 versions with more tacked on and slightly different names.
I think the version of Disgaea 1 on PSP is called Hour of Darkness or something. And then the port of Disgaea 2 is called Afternoon of Darkness. I could be wrong there, but they are just ports. The only PSP game that's not a port is Disgaea Infinity, but that's a visual novel, I believe.
Never heard of it.
Not played that one.
I think that's what it's called. It might not be Infinity, but there is a visual novel one on the PSP. Other than that, they're just ports.
I don't
really
know
get on with tactical games. I've never really finished many. 3. I think I've only ever finished 3. Jeanne d'Arc, From Mission 3, and Arc the Lad. But Jeanne d'Arc is one of my favourite games of all time.
There you go on.
Which is weird because I don't normally like strategy games, but
there's some good ones out there.
It's because it's like history meets Power Rangers. It's great.
History meets Power Rangers.
Seriously, it's like it's a game about the real story of Joan of Arc.
Yeah,
but it's got Power Rangers.
I didn't know it had Power Rangers. I knew it was based on Joan of Arc, but
it's got like orcs and goblins and shit and Power Rangers.
That sounds
they
fun.
have like morphin devices.
Well.
They've got these magical bracelets that like turn them into Power Rangers.
That sounds cool.
I really hope that comes to PS Plus.
Has that come to any? Has that ever been remastered?
No, it's stuck on the PSP and only in America. The only way to get it digitally is on the US PSP store.
Are you serious?
Down now.
Nah, that sucks.
I think you can buy it on PS3 on a US PlayStation account. But other than that, you can't. You've got to get a physical copy from the US. I'll keep hoping they're going to just on the sly release it on the PSN.
That sucks.
Or PS Plus rather, because they never tell you about which PSP games they've added. They just add them.
So every so often you just check too.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's there.
I noticed recently they added the 3 PSP Ape Escape games.
I didn't know there was 3.
Just one that's a remake of Ape Escape on the PlayStation. 2 of them are like WarioWare type games.
Ah, right.
Called Ape Academy.
I saw Ape Academy. I didn't realize it was another Ape Academy game.
Yeah, and they just added them on like without any kind of announcement. There was one day they were there.
It's only fair.
It's almost like they don't want you playing them. It's weird.
Don't want to
Like,
realizing you're paying for all this stuff, but you're not playing it because we're not telling you about it.
Like I get an email that'll tell me the new releases on PS Plus, and all it'll tell me is the PS4 and PS5 stuff that's coming. It never mentions the retro stuff.
That's stupid.
I don't know.
Yeah, no idea. Jeff, what was your game of the year, or what are you awarding your Pedzys to?
I'll be awarding my Pedzys to Final Fantasy 16, which is one of the 3 games that I've played of 2023. So, yeah, I've been playing it quite recently. Been enjoying it so far. It's to have a pretty mature story.
Lots of sex and violence.
Yeah.
Titties everywhere.
And doggos.
And doggo, yeah. Doggo.
Is he as good as the one from Tales of Vesperia?
No. Tales of Vesperia has the best dog. It smokes a pipe and it's got a sword.
Yeah. Torgal isn't that highly skilled, but he looks cute. Does he fight?
He does.
He does.
Oh,
He attacks enemies for you and finds items.
So, yeah, I've been enjoying that so far. I thought maybe I'd have a bit of difficulty with the battle system because I'm not really that good with action games, but I seem to be getting by so far. So,
are you enjoying the? Are you getting on with it then? Because obviously Final Fantasy since 12 has kind of changed the battle system quite a bit now, and it's more and more actiony than it was turn-basedy. So, are you finding it? Are you happy with that change, Jeff? Are you happy that they've changed it to be more actiony than turn-based?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm more happy than not. I've always enjoyed turn-based stuff, but I'm not unhappy with it. I know some people have sort of complained that the combat's pretty simple. Maybe
it hurts my thumb, so I kind of stopped playing.
Yeah, just get a bird to tap the button for you, like Homer on the keyboard. Just don't set off a nuclear power plant.
I've been getting through it all right. So
I haven't played a Final Fantasy game and finished them. The one I've enjoyed the most is Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo and Final Fantasy IX for the PlayStation 1, I think.
Yeah.
But I played the remastered PlayStation.
Too long, I thought.
Yeah? I never finished it though, so I can't say.
It's really good, but it drags on for far too long.
Fair enough.
But it depends on your play style. If you just want to play it, it probably doesn't. But if you want to try and do everything in it, it takes far, far, far too long. It's ridiculous.
That's fair enough, but I'm not that kind of person, so it won't take me that long.
I started twice, got really far in it, and just got bored by the end.
Nah, that sucks. But, so, Final Fantasy 16. Have you played Final Fantasy 15? Is it better than that, worse than that?
I have played FF15 when it released. I wouldn't know whether to rate it higher or lower, to be honest. Because I did enjoy 15, but I'm enjoying 16 as well. So I don't know where I'd rate it so far. I'll reserve judgment until I've finished it.
With 15 was that was a woman. I forgot who the villain was because he's barely in the game.
Yeah, he gets some focus in some of the DLC, but
he sort of crops up once near the start, and then you don't see him for hours and hours and hours, and then suddenly he comes back, and it's like, hang on, who are you again?
Yeah.
Why should I care who you are?
One thing that FF16's done all right is that it's sort of made it so that it tells a story within the game. So watching the anime, having to read the novels, get of the DLC, all that stuff.
It's got a cool
Yeah.
thing of which I thought was quite good, where it's got like a state of play sort of thing, where you can like look at the state of the world currently
Yeah.
and like see what each faction's up to and who they're kind of arguing with and shit like that.
Yeah, so if you're into your lore and stuff, you can always go to that map room and see of a realm, or go to the guy in the library and listen to about all the bestiary and character entries and stuff. So
Yeah, Final Fantasy are games that, like I said, I play and I enjoy them for a little while, and then I get fucking bored. Stop playing them. And it's a shame, especially with, like I said, 6 and 9, because them I would just enjoy in. And I didn't stop playing them because I got bored. I stopped playing them because I'm a twat. So, there you go. Kerrr9000, what is your game of the year? What are you awarding your Pedzys?
I got really stumped and basically came to a tie-break situation between two games.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, actually.
The first one of which, Disgaea 7, because, and I'm treading the exact same ground here, 6 was a bit disappointing. To me, 3, 4, 5 were extraordinary games and I couldn't get enough of any of them. 6, I fell off it, and 7 really does bring it back and makes it into what it should have been. But I think we've covered that quite a bit, you know. So the other one is Fire Emblem Engage.
No, right. I wasn't expecting that. I just punched my mic. If you heard a big thud, it's because I accidentally just punched my mic when I went to scratch my chin. Final Fantasy Engage.
One of your
Fire
children.
Emblem Engage. No, I did not punch one of the children. They're all in bed. So how is Fire Emblem Engage compared to previous Fire Emblems then? Because I haven't really heard much about it. Like from Fire Emblem Awakening onwards, I'd always hear quite a lot about Fire Emblem. With Engage, I haven't really heard anything about it.
I think one of the problems is that for a lot of people, Awakening is like really the high point of Fire Emblem. A lot of people see that as the perfect Fire Emblem game. And to be honest, with the amount of times I've replayed that game, I am probably in agreement with most people, because there's the whole thing with you having kids who sort of travel back from the future to now, so you get to meet your own kids as grown-ups. There's none of that in Engage. The Engage's thing is that there's rings, and there's like the souls of previous warriors in the rings, who are basically people from the old Fire Emblem games, like Ike and Mika and other people like that. So it's good that you get relationships with these rings and you talk to them, but you don't have kids or anything, so it's missing in that way. But it's just a really good tactical game. And I do have a thing for this sort of Final Fantasy Tactics, Fire Emblem, Disgaea. That probably one of my favourite styles of game.
Yeah, I've not played Engage, but like it seemed quite interesting the way it showed like the people combined. I didn't realize it was as simple as their souls were in rings. It's a bit cruel. You get this hero who saves the kingdom and he dies, and then they trap his soul in a ring so other people can use them. That's a bit mean. Bastards.
I think they're like copies of them. They're not the real them, if that makes sense. They've got their memories
Yeah.
and stuff, but it's just great because some of the old characters mean a lot to me. And I suppose that's something Disgaea and Fire Emblem have got in common, because although they're constantly introducing new characters to you, they know the sort of fan favourites, and they'll work them back in the background or into DLC, or they'll always find a way to bring them back. So that while you're enjoying the game and the new story, you can go, oh, it's him that I loved. Oh, she's back.
Yeah, I get that. It's always nice when someone you really liked pops back up in like a form of media that you've enjoyed, and it's like, oh, I miss blah blah blah, and then they turn up again. You're like, yay!
I'm not playing Tears of the Kingdom until the Tingle DLC.
Yeah. There's an island. There's Tingle Island. Maybe that's the tingle you don't get to see. Yep. But yeah, Fire Emblem is a game. See, like I think Fire Emblem, a lot of the time I don't end up getting them because I always want to get the collector's editions, and I don't end up getting them. I'm like, well, fuck you, Nintendo. If you're not going to put out enough copies, I'm not buying your game.
I got the collectors of Engage, but it was like crazy because when they went up on sale was, I think, like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. And it wasn't announced. They just randomly popped up on a load of sites. And I was on my way to work. And I noticed it had popped up. And I was like trying to buy it on different sites and pre-order it. And it wasn't working on my phone. And luckily, my missus had woke up when I had. And I texted her. I went, oh, this is out. Can you just order it me from anywhere? And, you know, I'll sort the money out we have to. And she stayed up until she could manage to get it, you know, pre-ordered somewhere for me.
Nice. I had issues trying to get the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 special edition, and I've got that now. Eventually I managed to get it, but I still haven't got the base game because it doesn't come with the game. It did in America. You'd get both the game and the collector's edition.
Oh, wasn't God of War Ragnarok like that?
I have no idea, but the thing is one thing about it is a lot of collected editions you see is like 80 quid for the collector's edition, and then you have to buy the game separately. The collector's edition was like 20 quid.
Oh, that's not bad then.
So it was like 20 quid, and then you buy the game separately because in America it was altogether, and it was like 70 quid, $70 or $80 or something. So because it couldn't be released at the same time in Europe for some reason, they had to release it separately.
It was weird. Games. Sorry.
Crack on.
The Xenoblade games seem to go up and down in price all the time for Switch. Like there's some kind of demand issue and then more get printed. And it's the same with all, 1, 2, 3, and is it Torna or whatever?
Yeah, Torna's DLC for 2. Like standalone DLC, I guess, because you can play it on its own or as DLC. But I'm Xenoblade games I fucking adore. That's what I've played of them. But again, I've not finished them because I think the issue with me is if a game is really big, I'll be like wanting to play something else as well, and then I'll play something else, and then that'll take my attention, and then I'll play something else, and then that'll take my attention, and then I don't end up going back. And I think that's the problem for me with long games.
It is very
sometimes,
very long game.
Yeah.
And it's like being a content creator. You're on this train of wanting to play other things, to review them or go on podcasts about them. And
yeah, and I try and play games for the podcast now, but I try and pick shorter games that I know are not going to take up too much time because I don't want to be like, hey, can you play this really long game and finish it in 2 weeks, please? And it's like, nah, I'll just play where I can and see what other people are up for. And usually most of the games I've picked for the podcast have been shorter games because it's something that's manageable between what people are doing normally,
Yeah.
So there you go. My Pedzys, the game of the year for me, I was actually struggling with, and it's going to be quite a boring choice actually between the two games. One of them is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, because I actually prefer it to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild I played for 50 or 55 hours and finished the game, which compared to most people I know, that's really, really short. Most people I know who played the game that I've spoken to put in like 100, 150, 200 hours. I put in 55. I finished the game. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was amazing. Whereas Tears of the Kingdom, even though weapon degradation is still there, and it seems to be worse unless you combine your weapon with something else, it seems to have more happening in the world. Like the world in Breath of the Wild was more bare than it is in Tears of the Kingdom. Fortunately, I don't mind the exploring and going around doing stuff, which is rare for me because open world games, I'm kind of like, on, as you all probably know, I'm not a massive open world game fan. But yeah, I've enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom. And the other game, another boring choice, is probably Baldur's Gate 3. Another game I've not yet finished, but I still am plugging away at it, and it's just fucking sublime. Any of you guys played any of those games?
Played a tiny bit of the first one and didn't like it.
Well, Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that, but Baldur's Gate, the older one, is a bit more archaic now compared to Baldur's Gate 3.
Since then, I have played Pillars of Eternity, and that's like that is that style of game.
I think you'd enjoy Baldur's Gate 3 because it's fucking ace.
Because Pillars of Eternity is meant as a tribute to the engine that those games were made in, the Infinity engine.
All right, fair enough. I didn't know that.
It's an engine BioWare made.
Ah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've not played Tears of the Kingdom because I don't have a Switch, but I know a lot of people really enjoyed that. Again, I've not played Baldur's Gate, but I've heard Baldur's Gate 3 in particular has sort of been really well received because it's like a long game, really well developed and everything, lots of content. And I think, was it relatively cheap compared to other AAA games? Or
yeah, I think it was around 50 quid compared to the 70 quid price tag. You can get it on PlayStation 5, Xbox, Series X, and PC. So it's available to you, Jeff. You've got no excuses, you bastard.
I think Baldur's Gate 3 should be disqualified as well.
Why?
Because technically it came out in 2020.
Early access, and it didn't have most of the game, so it's okay. Just like Grounded, that didn't come out fully until like a few years after it was originally released.
That's true.
And I remember playing it when it first came out.
Actually, that may have only gone into full release in 2023. Actually,
I have no idea. I remember playing Grounded when it very first came out, and you had a small-ish area to walk around in, and you get close to like the pond or something, and it would just be blocked off. And it'd be like, this is currently under construction. Stuff like that.
I know, it got a full release in September 2022.
So it's actually quite late then, Jesus. But
It was in early access July 2020, full release September 22. And they're still adding to it.
Yeah. So they should. I'm not paying Game Pass for nothing.
True. I mean, usually DLC's not included in Game Pass.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Robbing bastards.
It is a cheek. How dare they? Have you played Baldur's Gate or Tears of the Kingdom, Kerr and Prinny?
Played some of Tears of the Kingdom, but while I enjoyed what I played, I bounced off it because there was so much other things coming out I wanted to play. But I've not touched Baldur's Gate 3. It looks my sort of thing, but I've just got a massive back.
I'm kind of in a different place with Zelda. I never played what was it, Breath of the Wild, so I didn't see any point in playing Tears of the Kingdom because it's connected. But I have watched people Twitch stream it, and I know that there's so much more in Tears of the Kingdom, the crafting and all sorts of different things, so it expands the game vastly. Of course it looks amazing, and I think everyone's happy with it, whoever waited however many years for this game, and good for them. I'm just very I'm just one of those people. I'm a person of habit. I like the older games. I liked that they were 2D and the style of them and stuff, so I don't know, I just never really jumped onto the 3D Zeldas much. But Baldur's Gate, so I don't play them, but my brother is a massive fan, so I've seen all the different Baldur's Gate. I've seen him play it. Now, I remember when they first released Baldur's Gate 3 so many years ago, and then it was in development, so I've seen what it looks like from then to now. Now, I think it looks great, and I love the fact that it's so like needlessly gory. I love it. There's also this famous scene where you kill a squirrel for no reason or something, and I finally seen the full context of why, because the squirrel kind of starts on you. Yeah, he starts on you. And you're gonna take that guy down, man. And I was just like, I love it. It's so out of the ordinary, shocking, and that's stuff that I'm kind of used to, like in old school like animes and stuff like that. But
To be fair,
I
you
know
don't have to kill the squirrel.
no,
You just
it's
choose
optional,
to.
yeah. But
You
it's
could-
kind of fun that you can, right? Because it kind of reminds me of Fable. So that's why I'm looking at that game and thinking, oh, you never know. Because my brother actually got kind of like turned off by the new, like how it looks like now. So I was just thinking, because obviously I don't PC game, but I'm just thinking maybe one of these days when he's not around, I might load it up and try it out for myself and see how I feel.
Well, yeah,
Maybe I'd love-
I've been really enjoying Baldur's Gate 3. And if you've played Divinity Original Sin, it's by the same developer. I think it's Larian. And I played a bit of Divinity Original Sin with Jasm a few years back. We both enjoyed playing that, but that had a cool system where it doesn't seem to be in Dungeons and Dragons. It doesn't seem to be in Baldur's Gate 3, which is a Dungeons and Dragons game. But that's not the point. In Divinity Original Sin, me and Jasm were like doing certain things, and we would pick a different option. So say he was like, "Oh, you can attack this orc who's crying at the beach." I said yes. Jasm said no because Jasm's a nice guy. And then to see who wins the decision, you play rock, paper, scissors. I won. We attacked the orc. He fucking destroyed us. It might have been Noga, but it's really fucking good. Yeah, it's like it seems to have a lot of options. You don't have to fight constantly. You can discuss things. It just depends on your dice rolls, like some of the outcomes and how you have to do things. Like real Dungeons and Dragons. It's like I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for the last something like 8 months for the first time. And it's like we have these plans, we enact these plans, the dice disagrees with our plans, and we have to do different plans. Just the way it is. It's been great fun.
Yeah, and that means you have to kind of deal with like, not being prepared for stuff, and actually it might turn out way better or just hilarious, the outcome.
Yeah. It's good fun. I would recommend to everyone here, as you all have access to it, to get Baldur's Gate 3. Now. Especially Jeff.
Start destroying tree rats that badmouth me.
Well, I'm pretty sure like it attacks you. You can like be like, what's going on? Or you can just full on run up and pelt it at a wall.
I thought
Just like, oof.
I don't want to hit a tree rat.
Like, I prefer
You don't like
the
squirrels, Jeff?
style stuff.
Yeah. Is that what it's teasing me for? Because I can't pronounce it.
Probably.
When I played Baldur's Gate 3 with 2 other people I played D&D with. It was a day where we jumped on that specifically, and we did that where the squirrel attacked us, and the person who was hosting the game killed it, obviously. And every so often we'd be searching through loot, and all of a sudden you'd open a chest and there'd be this fucking dead squirrel in it from where one of the people decided to take it, carry around with them and chuck it in chests at random. It made me laugh. It's cruel, but so funny. I'm not mental, how dare you. Is there anything else you would like to discuss before we leave, guys, on the Game of the Years? On the Pedzys?
I guess are there any games that you're looking forward to in 2024?
Honestly, Jeff, I honestly can't even remember what's coming out.
Is that coming out this year?
What's that?
The 1,000 Year Door remake.
Yes, I believe that's
so.
coming out. Yeah, that's a game I'm looking forward to.
Game.
Fucking cracking.
Infinite Dragon.
Like a dragon.
You should do like a remake of the first Paper Mario as like digital download or something to hype it up, I think.
I don't think they will, because I think it's on Nintendo Switch
Oh
Online.
yeah, it's on NSO, isn't it? I haven't got NSO at the minute because Can't afford it.
He can't afford it, he just doesn't want to afford it.
No, I want to see you can get a subscription to it. It's like you've got to pay up front for a fucking year of it.
Yeah, it's the expansion pass as well, so.
Yeah, you can get the regular one on like a monthly subscription, but if you want to get the expansion, you've got to pay for a year in advance. I don't want a full year of it because I don't always use it.
You want to say to someone, yo, guys, who's got a space for a family pack? And then give them like a $5.
Because I want to play, what is it? I've been wanting to play Mario Advance 3 for weeks now. And then my NSO expired.
Ah, that sucks.
I could just emulate the SNES version of Yoshi's Island, or emulate the GBA version of Yoshi's Island. I've got 2 fucking laptops I can emulate on, but I want to play it on the Switch for some strange reason.
It's because it's how it's meant to be.
It's because I've got this thing with piracy. If I can do it legitimately, I will.
Yeah,
And I've got the means to play it legitimately, so I'd rather play it by the legitimate means.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
There's a logic to it, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree with her. I'd rather use real hardware and stuff anyway.
Like for all like PS2 games, I don't have a PS2 or any means of capturing a PS2, and PS2 games are getting quite expensive now, so there was no way I was paying. Like I think Shadow Hearts is like nearly a 40 quid game now. I'm not paying 40 quid for a PS2 game.
Don't blame
I'd only paying 40 quid for a new game.
I know that feeling. 70 quid can fuck off.
Like I've been playing Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga recently. How much does that go for?
At least a $5.
Or the PS2 one.
Yeah, and that's only half a game.
A lot.
Yeah, that's like a 30 quid game at CX. Like I'm not paying 30 quid for a PS2 game. It's like ancient.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I can't even remember. Like, I've seen the Game Awards. I've seen E3, not E3, but the equivalent of E3 for last year. And I can't remember what's coming.
Avowed, I think, is this year.
What game?
Avowed.
Avowed is this year. I thought you said out. So. I was like, out.
No,
What's out?
I think Avowed is this year.
Yeah.
Mario and Donkey Kong March of the Minis, that Peach Superstar thing.
They don't even know what that is yet.
Yeah, it's like a weird...
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Thing. I got no interest in that Peach game. I'd rather Super Princess Peach 2.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for. That's what I thought it was.
Nah.
Because Super Princess Peach is a great game.
I think with that, the fact that her powers came from her emotions and it was like she cries and stuff. And
everyone says it's sexist, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think it fits with some modern ideals and things so much.
It's a really fun game.
Oh, it is. It's a great game.
It's almost like a Wario, like a Wario Land game.
What about Prinny and Jeff? What are you looking forward to this year then?
Jeff, you go first.
I was just going to say Tekken 8 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Yeah, I second Tekken 8. Tekken 8's like my priority. Final Fantasy Rebirth after. But yeah, Tekken 8. We've been waiting too long for this game, and it better be good. Just saying.
Another code's out soon, actually. I didn't know that.
Oh, another code Recollection.
Recollection, yeah, that's out January 19th.
That's cool. Tekken is a game series that I haven't played since Tekken Tag Tournament, either 1 or 2 on the PlayStation 2.
Oh,
the releases for this year. There's those 2 made remasters.
So, Pedz, if you get Tekken 8, you can come on Prinny's stream and I can hit your ass on it.
My favourite game's Tekken the Piss.
It's crossplay, yeah. It's the first one on crossplay. It's such a big thing. Because Street Fighter have been all over that for years.
Yeah, I tell you what I did pick up today was Street Fighter 6.
Oh, do you like it?
Have yet to play it because I downloaded it long ago.
I'm tempted to get it on sale. I really do want to pick it up, but this will be my first ever Street Fighter.
Street Fighter has always been fucking awesome. It really has, but like I'm just awful at them.
Street Fighter Alpha's my jam.
I think you'd like Street Fighter, Prinny.
Street Fighter Alpha 3. That's my game.
Yeah.
I used to be half decent at it as well.
I used to be really good at all the games I played, but then I stopped playing them and I got bad.
I used to be good at Street Fighter 3, and then I decided to try playing it online one day. Turns out I am not good at Street Fighter 3.
It's funny, innit? Oh yeah, I'm kicking everyone's ass. You go to a tournament where there's more people. Why did I come last? I'm so good compared to all my friends.
When I had it on the Xbox, and I could 1cc it with like any character pretty much. I was like pretty decent at it. But then yeah, just try playing it online and just get my ass kicked constantly.
It's because people cheat online.
I did get pretty competent at Virtua Fighter. Is it 4?
I've been a Virtua Fighter for a while, have I?
One of the Virtua Fighter games. I've been 5 on PS3. I got pretty competent at that online, and actually got a pretty decent like win-loss ratio.
Virtua Fighter is a tough fucking. It's a tough fighter, if you ask me. It is probably the hardest to get to grips with.
But the thing is, what
the 3D fighters.
What I did was just pick one character and just stick with them. Well, got really good with one character.
It's the way to do it. Are you into Virtua Fighter then, Prinny and Jeff? Because I know you like your fighter. Well, Prinny especially. I find Virtua Fighter is more of is a very difficult to master fucking fighting game. I find it.
You need to master the attack for when they're on the ground, and rolling when you're on the ground.
Well, you stick on Limp Bizkit and you'll be fucking sorted.
Because that comes in so handy because you can avoid like a lot of stuff. When you press the right two buttons and like your character will just like roll on the floor to avoid ground attacks. It's really handy.
So you gotta like remember, like Virtua Fighter was one of the first fighting games like in 3D. So the mechanics are different, but also for some reason Virtua Fighter has always been slower. So all these new fighting games have come along, Tekken and all that, and Virtua Fighter, I don't know why they're a step behind now. I say that, but then I can actually say I played a lot of Virtua Fighter 5. So I played Virtua Fighter, I think 3 on Dreamcast, which I thought was amazing back then. But even now, people were like, no, it wasn't that great. Then I played 4, was disappointed. Played 5, again was disappointed. Then they did Ultimate Showdown, which I have. They've made it a bit faster, but still, like the backgrounds are all confined. There's no open backgrounds like Tekken is or like Street Fighter.
So open backgrounds like.
And then they've added so many DLC packs because obviously Sega have access to like Yakuza and all that. So they've added Yakuza DLC and other games and stuff. And they've tried to make it cool in that sense, but again, the complexity of moves and stuff is still nothing compared to like Tekken and Street Fighter. And trust me, Virtua Fighter was maybe my first ever fighting game, and I do have a soft spot for it, but I can't play it the way I can just turn on Tekken and just do an online match or just have a match with like Jeff or with you guys. But yeah, because also customization is so much more better in Tekken, at least I can say, because I've not done it in Street Fighter. Whereas you just have pre-made packs in Virtua Fighter 5, or you can slot like certain things together. You can't change the colors or this or that, or like Dead or Alive. We never speak of Dead or Alive because you have to spend thousands of pounds.
Dead or Alive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't buy the costumes though. I'm not that stupid.
I don't care what anyone says. The best fighting game is Fighters fucking Mega Mix for the Sega Saturn, and if you disagree, you're fucking wrong.
Strip Fighter 2 on the PC engine.
And the best BMX game is BMXXX.
That's actually not a bad BMX game. I had it for the GameCube.
I've not played it.
One of the characters in Strip Fighter 2 does a move like, you know how Zangief spins?
Yeah.
It's like that, but she attacks with her tits.
Oh wow.
I could do that as well, to be fair.
Yeah, she spins around and like slaps the other character with her titties.
Jesus Christ. Well, I think that is going to be us on that bouncy note. That is going to be us. Thank you for everyone taking part tonight. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll be back in a fortnight. Hopefully I can get someone who's up for some Warhammer Orcs game I can't remember. It's called Blood, Teeth, and Shooter's Blood and Teeth. Shooter's Blood and Teeth with an F. See if someone's up for playing that, because I've had it for ages. Wanted to play it, but I wanted to do it on the podcast. So I hopefully get someone on for that. So that'll be in 2 weeks. Next week, there'll be a film podcast. We're just waiting on Prinny to pick a film so we can then watch the film. And then we can then discuss the film.
Strokemon.
No, I'm not watching Strokemon. But thank you again, everyone. So is there anything you would like to plug, Prinny, before we leave?
I Twitch stream all these long JRPGs that I never finish, so feel free to come along and pop into my chill streams, which is twitch.tv/doomed_Prinny, and I interview people, voice actors and stuff, so feel free to check that out on my YouTube. Link is somewhere on my socials. Find me. I'm on Twitter/X as Hades_Kitty. Find all my stuff there, and see you soon, dudes.
Jeff, what about you? What would you like to promote?
I'd like to promote coffee drinking and good sleep.
Jeff said he was going to go at 12 o'clock. Whatever happens, it's 23 minutes past. Fuck you, Jeff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's past Jeff's bedtime now.
That's why Jeff doesn't look very happy right now, Pedz.
Well, I'll spit in his coffee. He'll be fine.
Oh, not my coffee.
Well, I'll get a barista to do it.
Okay. But yeah, thanks for the podcast.
No problem, dude. For those who want to, which you should, check out Jeff on Twitch, because he's not saying it, which is twitch.tv/Jeff Yard. JEFFYARD.
When I first saw the word barrister, I thought it was just like someone from Newcastle's barista. I just thought it was like someone from Newcastle had written like barrister, like in a Geordie accent. You know, what do you do? I'm a barrister.
Like
then
Jeff.
someone pointed out it was actually someone who makes coffee, and I was like, oh, okay.
Kerr, what would you like to plug, man?
I'm Kerrr9000 on YouTube, on Twitter, TikTok. Yeah, I'm on all of them. And I've got plenty of horror and video game and sci-fi stuff up.
He's not on Twitch, though, unfortunately.
And check it out. It's my birthday now, so there you go. There's a reason to check it out.
Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday to Kerr.
And Cumberdanes, what would you like to plug, man?
I'm Cumberdanes on Twitch, Twitter, Xbox Live, PSN. Feel free to add me on any of them. I'll follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch. I'll be very grateful.
There you go. And I'm Pedz. You can follow me on Pedz stuff, like Pedz Game Shack .com. But yeah, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. This will be up Wednesday. Hopefully, I will catch you all again very, very soon, either in streams or on G Arcade or I'm not on Twitter anymore. I use Blue Sky. So like mine's at Pedz at Blue Sky Social or something. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, I will catch you all very, very soon. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
See you all. Bye.
Bye.